a female deer.
Red.
Then I don't know the rest. Here we go.
Oh, that's
Doomed.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy from GhostCodeMag.com, and we're here at New York Comic Con with the one and only Dirk Manning. What's up, Dirk?
What's going on, man? Thank you so much. It's an honor to get to talk to you guys.
It's an honor to get to talk to you, man. We're big fans. Dirk, if you're not familiar, and you need to get familiar, is an incredible comics writer, graphic novels, short stories, Nightmare World. I want to talk briefly about all your stuff, but what I do want to start talking about is your incredible collaboration with Twiztid. Let's show the book.
Yeah, this book right here, perhaps.
Twiztid Haunted High Ons, and
you can do the whole interview like this because I have a microphone.
yeah, definitely. And it's creepy and it's super cool.
Thank
And
you.
co-written, the story's co-created by Dirk and Twiztid.
Yep.
Co-written by Dirk, and it is a phenomenal story. Let's talk a little bit about how you got to collaborate with them and a little bit about the book.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot of people out there know about Twiztid and things like that. So I'm not going to go into their whole backstory. You know, their 20-year career, 12 albums, their latest album, Generation Nightmare, double debuting on the Billboard chart, the alternative rock and hip hop chart at the same time, which is crazy. But so what ended up happening is, long story short, is a former publisher of mine said, hey, I got this band that really is into comics and wants to do a comic, and they're really into comics and horror. He said, so you're obviously the guy. And I go, oh, right on, man. Who's the band? And he goes, Twiztid. And I go, and I'm a dyed-in-the-wool metal guy, you know, but I also, you know, grew up just south of Detroit. I know Twiztid were. I knew him back from House of Crazies. Old school.
Wow.
Yeah, way back.
95.
Mr. Bones. But anyway, so I was totally in. So we got to meet and stuff like that. And basically what we did is I just got to talk to them a little bit. You know, and at first you don't really meet the band. You know, they don't know who I am and they're busy and stuff like that. So they sent me some notes on the story. We talked about it. We got together, just sat down with them and wrote the one shot on 2017 based on the comic, based on their notes for the comic. They really dug it. Luckily, I had a phenomenal art team, Mariana Pescosta and Alessandro De Fornassari. They were a pair of artists from Italy who I'd been really wanting to work with. We'd actually pitched a couple things around. Their art was so good, but nothing was just fitting. No projects I had were like the right project yet. And I'm like, I gotta find something. And then when Twiztid came up, I said, oh my gosh, they'd be perfect. So I contacted Mariana and I said, look, I'm meeting with the band like in a day. Can you get me some character sketches together? Gave them to the guys. They lost their mind, wrote the script. They liked it. We did the one shot. We took the one shot to Source Point Press. It was a very big seller for everyone involved. And from there, we just launched into the new miniseries, which just wrapped up, Hannah Hines, The Darkness Rises. So that is kind of where we are today.
Awesome. And it's a great story, a ghost story. It's funny. It sounds like the Twiztid guys, just casually.
That's because I did a lot of stalking. You know?
Yeah, well, sure. It's, you know, but I mean, like, really well developed. I love the characters. I highly recommend this book.
Thank you.
It's really, like, I can't wait to actually now go back and read the one shot and other things. But terrific stuff. And, of course, you're also here on top of promoting all your work, your new series, Hope, which I believe debuted for Comic Book Day.
Yeah, Free Comic Book Day. We debuted this book at Free Comic Book Day. Hope's a book I want to do for a very long time. Written by me, illustrated and co-created by Kaylin Smith. Just a really, really cool, fun book. It's funny because people mainly know me as a horror guy. They know me for Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Love Stories to Die For, you know, even Haunted High Ons is a horror comedy book. Then they see Hope, which is this book about this mom who's a superhero. And people are like, Dirk Manning's doing a superhero book, and Kaylin Smith, who does like fantasy western stuff like that. You guys are doing a superhero book together? What's going on with that? And I said, oh, don't worry, just, you know, give it a read. And like I said, it's a book about a mom who moonlights as a superhero. And in the first 5 pages of the first issue, something happens that totally changes the trajectory of her life. Issue 4 just came out this week, and my social media has been blowing up. People are like, what are you doing to me? Oh, my God. Like, people are crying and stuff like that. I'm like, don't forget I'm a horror writer first. You know, Hope is not a horror book, but it's the scariest book I've ever written.
Wow.
That's amazing. I would argue by a mile. You know, and it's about parenting, and it's about how the world would react. Well, people can read it. People can read it. I don't. Part of the joy of that book is the journey. So
Nice. And that's really the story of any writer is about the journey. And this is the thing I definitely wanted to speak to you. Most of all,
Yeah.
I love that you've written a book about writing. You're very concerned with words and how writing is done. I think it's applicable not just to comic book artists and graphic artists, but actual, my passion is also writing, clearly, whether it's about music, comics, or anything. So let's talk a little bit about this book. I believe you have another one ready to come out soon.
Yeah,
Let's grab the book.
I'll jump off camera. But it's like I reappear like a magician, new stuff. Right or Wrong, A Writer's Guide to Creating Comics. Book I put out several years ago, and this was my pay it forward book. Right or Wrong was really about, okay, if you're interested in, if you can write, and you want to make comics but you don't draw, how do you get there? How do you get there, And it started as a column at newsarama.com back in the day. We moved over to Bleeding Cool after that, and then I collected the book. And again, it's just a book I put together about how do you go from, knowing you can write to finding artists, building your team, balancing day job, family, work, family, friends, all that stuff, and go from, I know I can write if I was given a chance, to making comics. I have 14 graphic novels out, something like that so far, and now I've been going on record in May, Right or Wrong Volume 2, which is going to be about, now that you have the book, what's next? It's like, now that you have a comic out, now that you've made the thing, what do you do? How do you do conventions? How do you talk to publishers and editors and things like that? So for my wrestling fans out there, Right or Wrong Volume 2 is going to be the pipe bomb book. So
what a reference.
Fair warning.
What a reference. And there's a lot of wrestling here at Comic-Con this year, too, with AEW here yesterday.
Oh, my gosh. What a week for wrestling.
Right? Sick times. I do want to say, what advice would you give any fledgling person that wants to write? Obviously, we don't want to take away the essence of what's in your books, but just if you could give one nugget of advice out to a writer who wants to start.
Find the story that only you can tell. There's 7 plots, but there's a difference between a plot and a story. And what's the story only you can tell? What's that? And a lot of people say, one day I want to get to my magnum opus. Start with that story. Start with that passion project you have. Nightmare World for me was a passion project. Start with that. It's what's going to keep you motivated. People are going to respond to you as you authentically as a writer that way. And that'll allow you to find and build your tribe. My career would be totally different if I hadn't started with Nightmare World. But that was my jam. And then I got to do Tales of Mystery and Love Stories to Die For and Hope and The Adventures of Cthulhu Jr., Dastardly Dirk. Those are types of books got me Haunted High Ons with Twiztid and Legend of the Shaders with the Harp Twins and on and on and on. But you got to find the story that only you can tell and tell that story. Unabashedly, unashamedly, follow your passion to find your tribe.
Killer. I love that. And that is deeply profound for me because Ghost Cult Magazine is my passion. Lastly, as we wrap this up, and I let you get back to your adoring fans and your table and this crazy con.
Readers. Right?
Yes. Well, still fans. I think
I know. It's just weird for
fans,
me.
But I understand.
I appreciate you.
I understand how that is. Music. I know you mentioned you're a huge metalhead. We talked about music. What are your favorite bands? And do you listen to music can you listen to music and write?
Yeah. It's funny. I do listen to for a long time. I did not, and now I almost exclusively have to listen to music when I write. Oh my God! Right now, I mean, again, what a golden age for metal. Slipknot's new album was incredible. They're just continuing to just blaze a path as like one of the most important metal bands out there right now. I mean, they're phenomenal. But I would be ridiculously remiss not to mention the new Tool album. That new Tool, I mean, again, between the new Slipknot album and the new Tool album, and again, there's my hot take, and you guys can, argue about this if you want, but where I stand, here's my pin. Bink. Fear Inoculum, best Tool album since Enema.
I might be right there with you. I got to tell you, I'm kind of a Lateralis guy, but I'm right there.
I like all, but man, Fear Inoculum, it's like I'll listen to stuff, then I put it back in. When I listen to some other stuff, I put it back in. So between Tool and Slipknot right now, just ruling the roost. Oh my God!
And we got a new Rammstein this year.
Yeah, new Rammstein album was kicking
which was
ass.
very underrated, I think.
Very underrated. People sleep on that band a little bit, but that new they're coming out hot. All these metal bands are coming out hot. Ghost, again, huge Ghost fan.
Nice.
I'm excited for more Ghost coming out. Now, Ghost is a very divisive band. One of my favorite bands right now is Ghost.
We love Ghost. No fucks to give.
None.
And then
I can't wait for the Cardinal to become the Papa. That's all.
yeah,
I
it's gonna
can't
happen.
wait.
That's next, Papa
Let's get it.
Ford.
Yeah, I know. I'm
And
excited.
Then, a new Megadeth next year.
Yes.
So I know you're a big Megadeth fan.
Big
so.
Megadeth fan. With hopefully Dave Mustaine will be doing better here. So
Definitely. Dirk Manning, man, what an absolute honor and pleasure to chat
no,
with you here
it's
at
my
New York
pleasure.
Comic Con.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. We're going to stay in touch.
We will.
Promote all your
Thank
stuff.
you.
Links, Dirk Manning on all the social media, dirkmanning.com.
Yep.
Just funded the Kickstarter for the series. For
Haunted High Ons is now on Kickstarter. We got funded in like 3 days. Now we were unlocking the stretch goals, or as Twiztid calls them, the hiddenables. But we'll see how many hiddenables we can unlock. So
Easter eggs and hiddenables. I love it.
Right on.
I am Keefy from GhostGoldMag.com. This is Dirk Manning. We are out.